Hey everyone, so today is the day that we're going to get started with our seeds for the fall. So I've got some stuff laid out that I want to get started sooner. Anything like lettuce and root crops, I'll just direct sow that. And are you already tired this morning? So I've already got my seed starting mix soaking with some water. You don't want it like soaking wet, but you do want it to be, almost like mud. If you try to put that in a pot, then put your seeds in, then put the water in, it's gonna just foam up and you're gonna lose where your seeds are. And some seeds need to be on top, some seeds need to be on the bottom, and you may not get good germination. So we're gonna get started. I think this year I want to only do like 4 Brussels sprout plants. I never really have good luck with them. So we're just gonna give 4 a shot and see what happens. And I do not have a lot of seed starting soil this year. So what I'm gonna do is, and what people tell you not to do, is I'm gonna put multiple seeds in one container and I'm not going to thin them out. I will just gently pry them apart when they're ready to go in the ground and do it as carefully as possible not to mess with the roots too much. And then we're at Remington. So I'm just going to do, I think I made the holes a little too deep. The good rule of thumb when planting seeds is you only want your seeds as twice as deep as the seed is big. So because these are pretty tiny seeds, they just barely need to be covered. Did you get tired? All right, and then this is making a mess. I'm gonna have a towel. So I'm also out of the little like name things. So I found these toothpicks in my drawer, and I've got these scraps of label. So I'm just gonna write on here, Brussels. Oh no, gross. This should still work. Maybe. Alright, so I'm just gonna fold it in half over here and stick that down in there, and that one's ready to go. And I have to go grab a towel. Okay, that's better. That's better. So another seed that I've already started a few cabbage seeds over there, but I do want to do some red cabbage, and I know that I want 6 of those plants. So what I'm going to do is just use these, and these are all stuff that I've reused, or you can have family and friends save them for you instead of going out and buying like new stuff on Amazon or Walmart or wherever. So reuse and recycle. And I mean, this one's split. I could tape it, but I think once I get the soil in here, it'll be fine. I'm gonna add some more seed starter mix to this bowl. One, to help kind of soak up the extra water that I have put in there, and then 2, I can already kind of see that it's going to take more than I was thinking. And I'm using the Espoma seed starting mix, and I like this because it has the mycotone in it, which is like the mushroom spores, and that helps to give your seedlings just a little bit extra boost. I find this seed starter mix works a lot better, bye Remy, than the Miracle Grow stuff. Hopefully, my plan is this year with the cabbage is to just cover them the entire season. Cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, spinach, lettuce, anything that doesn't flower that you're gonna eat, like, or produce a fruit that you're gonna eat, doesn't need pollinators. So I'm gonna cover them completely, just for the entire season, so that way that keeps a lot of the pests and stuff away, especially like the cabbage moth. Alright, so we've got our red acre cabbage, and just like the other one, these are really tiny, and so this is only going to go half as they are big, or as deep as they are big, if that makes sense. And now these ones, I will do a couple per cell, just to make sure that I get a good enough germination rate on these. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little soil on top. Just to make sure that they're just a little bit covered. And we'll do the same thing, we'll label that one. So that one was red acre cabbage from MIGardener. You know, I kind of like this toothpick method better than the little plastic sticks, because we can compost the toothpicks afterwards. So just stick that down in there, and that one will go over here. And then another one, I only have a few of these little 6-cell trays. So I know that the strawberry spinach I want 6 of, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I haven't planted this variety before of spinach. One of my gardening friends that I met over the spring shared these seeds with me, and I just didn't have space to plant them in the spring, so they're going to go in our fall garden and hopefully be able to produce enough to where we can freeze it for spinach in the winter. Has anyone ever canned spinach? I know I've canned collards and kale, and it turned out pretty good, but I wonder if you can can spinach. You can buy canned spinach in the grocery store, so it's doable. So if you've canned spinach before, let me know, and let me know how it turned out. Alright, some more sprinkle. These are tiny, tiny. These probably, I'm just going to press these in, because they're so small. See, like, that's one of the ones that, like, had you not pre-soaked the soil, and then I tried to pour water on top, it would have just went everywhere, and I probably wouldn't have gotten any germination off of those at all. So, pre-soak. And over the next few days to weeks, like until I start getting little seedlings pop up, I'll either bottom water this, or I'll just come in with like a little spray bottle and keep the top moist. Get wet. Oop, I gotta make my label. That was strawberry spinach. So there is a few of these that are more on the rare side of seeds, and I don't have a lot to work with. So a few of these I'm gonna give just 1 or 2 seeds a shot, and then we're gonna do some winter sowing in milk jugs with the other ones, and then if those don't work, hopefully the ones that I have left, I will do something with it this spring. Okay, so, and those 2 seeds are the Sweet Cicely and the Good King Henry. And if you haven't heard about these, they're really popular in the permaculture community. Good King Henry is like a spinach. It's a perennial spinach. And Sweet Cicely is supposed to be like a perennial. It's an herbaceous plant, but it's supposed to take the place of celery. And I am terrible at growing celery. So we are going to try to get these perennials to grow. So what I'm going to do is just do these small little pots. And we'll do 2 seeds in each, just to see if we get any sort of germination whatsoever. This might actually be a little too deep, but give it a go. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna switch this to a not so deep pot. Like using the spoon, like, oh, I'll use the spoon and not get dirty, and then of course like feral me just reaches in there like, we're getting dirty today, lady. All right, so we're gonna start off with the Good King Henry seeds, and these are pretty notorious for having bad germination rates, so we'll see. Plus I think it's always kind of fun to experiment. So I have 20 of these seeds. So to be able to put like 4 in here and just see what happens is fine. Okay. I'm gonna sprinkle these around. And then just take a little, those were tiny, so we're just gonna take a little bit of this and sprinkle it. These ones make me nervous because they're kind of pricey for like seed prices. So, and I have not been able to find these as plants in my area. So I'm gonna have to just try them from seed. And if this don't work, then I'll order plants off of Etsy, but I really don't want to have to do that. All right, so there's your Good King Henry's going in there. And then these Sweet Cicely ones are strange looking. Kind of remind me of like dandelion seeds almost. So I'm gonna do 4 Sweet Cicely's. See how these seeds look? Very strange. Alright, so I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to lay these on top. And we're going to put a very small layer of soil on top. Very small. Because these are so thin. I have a couple of other different seeds that I just got in that do require like cold stratification. So I'm either going, I think with those, I'm gonna, so I have like witch hazel trees and, let's see, 9-star broccoli, which is a perennial cauliflower, Turkish rocket, and sea kale. And all of those are perennials for our food forest. And some of them I'm gonna have to start in my refrigerator in probably November, December. And then we're also gonna try to start them in milk jugs outdoors to see if our cold will be cold enough to trigger that cold stratification in the seeds. We'll see though. Okay, so fava beans. So I usually plant fava beans directly outside, and fava beans are an excellent crop. They're also called broad beans, but they are a nitrogen fixer. So if you need to fix the nitrogen in your soil, if you have a nitrogen deficiency, you can just chop them down before they flower and before they produce beans. They also produce really good edible beans that you can eat raw when they're young or cooked, and then cooked when they get to the dried out stage. So someone asked me on Facebook if you could start them early indoors or if you needed to start them outdoors direct sow. And I've never started them from indoors early. So we are going to give it a shot. So I'm going to see how these roots take to transplanting. So I just planted 3 in here just as an experiment. And the rest of these will get direct sowed probably September, October, when it starts to cool off. Fava bean is a cool weather bean. And another room and soil. I did those. So another one that I think I don't want to do 6 of. I think I want to do 3 of. So I've already got some Swiss chard out there, but it's not enough to keep us in the Swiss chard. So if I go out there and harvest right now, I have to wait like a couple of weeks until it regens in order for us to get more Swiss chard. So I want to have more plants to where I can save some, either by freezing or dehydrating, or I can, you know, eat it twice a week if I want to. So I'm gonna start 3 more plants of the Vulcan spinach, Vulcan Swiss chard, and then we're also gonna start 3 seeds of Perpetual spinach. And Perpetual spinach is a type of Swiss chard, but it's more similar to spinach than it is to Swiss chard. And it is also a perennial. I actually think it's a biannual. And a biannual means that it will grow the first year, grow the second year, and then it will bloom. So carrots are a biannual. So that's why if you leave seeds, your carrots in the ground for 2 years, that's when they'll bloom and go to seed, and you can collect more seeds if you need to. But I think with Swiss chard and probably Perpetual spinach is that it will reseed itself. So you plant some, let it go to seed, plant some, like you plant some one year, one spring, and then the next spring you plant more, and then you shouldn't have to plant any more because the ones prior will be seeding, and then the next year that one will be seeding. So you should always have some that you can eat and always have some that are going to seed and reseeding itself. This is another one that I don't have a whole lot of, so we're just going to put in a couple of seeds per cell. I wasn't going to do 6 Perpetual spinach, but I already started, so it looks like we are doing 6 cells. Let's see. Sometimes you just get to planting and you're like, that's what we're doing. Just let nature take its course. So I am out of soil. I have a little bit more in this bag, but it's going to take a little while for that soil to rehydrate itself and get ready to plant. So I'm going to end this video here, and then I'll do a part 2 in a few hours once I get my soil rehydrated. But if you have any questions on this one so far, or anything you want me to talk about in the next one, just let me know. Yeah, and I'll leave a link down below to the link to where I purchased this seed starting mix in case you're interested. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.